The program starts with people describing symptoms of dementia that they noticed in themselves or loved ones. Let's listen.
I knew something was awry for a number of years. I noticed it particularly in my work, missing things, missing appointments, and one time missing an arbitration in which I was scheduled as the arbitrator, and the arbitration was to be in my office. I was up at the lake. I was totally embarrassed, so embarrassed I resigned as an arbitrator.
Carol's behaviors had changed. She began to drop out of all the activities that had meant so much to her.
My dad's an artist, and we noticed a change in his artwork. He was a watercolorist, and he was having trouble painting.
He was unable to engage and enjoy activities and hobbies and things that he used to do, I guess, to the extent that he used to be.
Beginning to lose your ability to write, whereas at one time she had a beautiful penmanship. And you slowly begin to lose your vocabulary.
This section helps to clarify whether changes you notice are from dementia or are a part of normal aging.
She would repeat questions.
The hallmark of Alzheimer's disease is people will tell you, he's different. This is not the man I married. And it's not just about the memory changes. It's about he's more irritable, he's more anxious, he's more apathetic, he's disinterested. He doesn't seem to start anything the way he used to. And people will describe, my husband was a multitasker. He ran a business where he had to juggle balls, 1 million balls in the air. And now he doesn't seem to notice that all these balls are dropping and they're not doing anything. He's not doing anything about it. And he doesn't seem concerned. And that lack of concern with something that you felt passionate about, that's a real change in personality.
Clicking on the different parts of this house displays activities about adjusting the environment to support someone with dementia. This is the bedroom window.
Getting dressed. Middle stage. Each morning, Betty lays her husband's white t-shirt and undershorts on the bed with the rest of his clothing. Lately, he has been getting dressed without putting on his underclothing. How could Betty adjust her approach? Type your answer in the space.
Let's check our answer.
In this case, Betty's husband may have trouble seeing the white underclothing on the white bedding. Laying the white garments on a contrasting blanket might help.
This section contrasts common caregiver approaches to typical situations with more effective caring approaches. Here's an example of a common approach in handling this misunderstanding.
Chuck just saw a commercial on television where a family was sitting down to Thanksgiving dinner.
Hey, it's Thanksgiving today. We'd better get the turkey in the oven.
Chuck, Thanksgiving isn't until next week. I haven't even bought the turkey yet.
We need to get ready now.
Honey, don't worry about it. I'll take care of it next week.
But everyone is eating today. We're going to miss it.
I'll get the calendar and show you. Today is Friday, the 17th. Next Thursday is the 23rd, which is Thanksgiving.
Stop it. Stop it.
Time is abstract. You can't rely on your loved one to understand anything outside of what's happening right now. Trying to explain what next week means will not help.
Now listen to our caring approach.
Chuck just saw a commercial on television where a family was sitting down to Thanksgiving dinner.
Hey, it's Thanksgiving today. We'd better get the turkey in the oven.
Who should we invite to dinner this year? Your Aunt Florence or maybe your cousin Ed?
Ed is my favorite cousin.
Tell me about him. What did you do together as kids?
He's the greatest. He's 2 years older than me, so when we were kids, he always showed me how to do things and fix the car.
Chuck and his wife had a nice conversation reminiscing about his childhood. Chuck did not ask about Thanksgiving again. Rather than trying to explain an abstract idea like time, it is better to change the topic, as was done here. There's no point in trying to get your family member to understand a reality that they cannot comprehend. Also, If things on television are causing confusion, it is probably best to leave it off.
On this screen, you'll hear the concerns and advice of others when it comes to shifting roles from family member to caregiver.
My dad is an old-fashioned kind of dad. We were taught that you do as you're told, don't talk back, and don't question his authority. I'm afraid I'll hurt his pride if I take over. It feels strange and sort of belittling to take over for a parent.
And my dad was the same way. Had a really hard time with us at first, but I'm the only one available to take care of him, so I had to figure this out. What helped me was making a conscious effort not to put any of this in his face. I lead quietly. I don't think of it as taking over, and I don't point out that I am in charge. I think this helps to keep his pride intact. At least it makes me feel better about doing the things that I need to do. Now, someone once told me that he may be secretly wishing that I would provide some direction, and that makes me feel better too.
In this video, individuals with dementia, as well as family members, talk about living with dementia and continuing to enjoy life.
There is life after Alzheimer's diagnosis, and there's a lot of beauty in life. And I have a friend who says, hey, I'm having more fun now than I did before because I would have worked myself to death. And I had to quit work because of this disease. And he says, I've found so many beautiful things out there. And that's so true. So there are advantages in knowing enough about the disease, dealing with it early enough, that you can continue a good, satisfying life. And in many ways, it frees you up.
When he would say, can I help you? Even though it might have been the third time that he swept off the deck. Or, swept out the garage for me, or wiped off the shelf in the refrigerator, or let the dogs out. I always tried to say, yes, I've got loads of things you can do for me.
If she's communicating and this is what she wants to do, it doesn't matter why. And there's no reasoning with her to explain that we can't have ice cream for breakfast just because you want it. I mean, who cares? Have the ice cream. I don't care. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, it's that little stuff that would just make everybody crazy and put everybody on edge all the time, the little things that she would do. And it's like, you just can't. You got to let her do what she wants, and if it's making her happy, then have fun with her too.